following video may contain language that is not suitable for all motherfucking viewers. If you are a child, a social justice warrior, or a pussy, you should stop the video now, as you may get triggered and have to go on and on in the comments about how much I swear and how I should stop swearing so that you can watch the video. In that case, you should find a video that doesn't swear, because this is not the place for you. There will be no safe spaces in any of my videos. For all the rest of you motherfuckers, enjoy the show.
It's a cock!
Here in Tyler, Louisiana. Stayed at the motherfucking place that was so. Actually, it's fucking Rayville, Louisiana. Dumbass. Creatively named China Buffet, and a little flea market slash mall slash strip mall slash Family Dollar slash Walmart. Anyways, I'm doing kind of a walking test and vlogging test. There's a little bit of a breeze, so I don't know if the mic's gonna fuck up, probably. But hopefully I didn't get food poisoning from the China Buffet. Sorry, it's my ringtone. I don't even know if you heard that. So this would be what you do if you're using this camera for fucking vlogging. Plus people stare at you because there's a big cock on the end of your selfie stick and they're like, what the fuck is that thing? What are you gonna do with that? You gonna hurt me? I'm shooting this entirely using, with the exception of the little intro there, the Samsung Gear 2017. The sound is what you can expect if you are in a quiet space right now that you're hearing. If you're in a quiet area, it's fine. And the dynamic range is about it. As you can see behind you there, I've had to completely fucking blow out the sky. Like, turn around and look that way. I've had to completely blow out the sky. And there's really not much you can do about it. I will also show you a quick picture of what HDR does, though. So for photography, a situation like this for non-moving fast targets is a plus. I am very happy with the landscape HDR mode on this camera. What that does is it takes 3 motherfucking pictures, one that's really dark, one that's really bright, and one that's in the middle. It combines the best parts of all 3 of them for supposedly a perfect exposure. Overall, you know, if you want the specs for this camera, this isn't the video for that. This is like my thoughts and real world performance. If you go back, you'll know that I also reviewed the Nikon Key Mission 360, and I ended up taking that back to the store because it was a piece of fucking horse shit that is twice the price of this camera, and this camera handily beats that camera in almost everything except that it's not as durable and not as, you know, able to go out into the elements. Like, you can't drop it into fucking water. Trust me on this. Because as you can see here, the like over here, the bottom part of the camera is kind of coming apart at the seams. It's supposed to be splash resistant, but it's, you know, just keeping it in my pocket. That's all I've really done with this thing. And it seems to not be holding up very well. Plus, one of the lens rings around the outside front lens is loose. Like, it makes a little noise. Here, I'm going to touch your face. Touching your face. Oh, wait, it's not doing it now. Oh, yeah, it is. It's a little loose. I noticed it the other day. So this thing's not put together very well, but it's fairly cheap. It's $200, you know, to 20, something like that. And for the price, if you own a Samsung phone or an iPhone, I guess they're supporting iPhone. I don't know how that works. It's kind of like, you know, well, I suppose since Samsung stole the fucking design of the Galaxy from the iPhone people, that maybe, you know, we should let them have a bone or two. But not sparking the iPhone versus Samsung versus Android debate. If you have a Samsung or an iPhone, this camera is a nice addition to your selfie arsenal. It is not what I would consider pro level, because the manual controls, yes, you can change the exposure and tweak it to the right settings, but it's kind of finicky. And like I said, the dynamic range isn't huge. You're gonna have to, in a situation where it's dark where I'm at right now, the only light on me is coming from the outside, so I've had to blow out the outside. And with a higher dynamic range, you'd be able to see some clouds and some sky and, you know, all kinds of shit. You can't see it right now. So that's one of the problems with this camera. What is it good for, and would I buy it again? I guess that's the big questions. It's good for capturing little moments in a setting. You know, if you have VR goggles, if you have a decent cell phone or a high bandwidth internet connection, you can really get the most out of this camera. You have to shoot in 4K, otherwise your images are blurry as shit. You have to watch them in 4K. So if you're watching this right now and it's blurry as fuck, you need to go down to little settings on YouTube and click the little thing and say, I want to watch it in 4K. Problem with that is, if you're on a cell phone, it's going to buffer and do all that shit. So if you really want a good idea of the quality, try it on a good internet connection where you have plenty of data and you can watch it. Same thing with uploads. You got to upload in 4K, which takes up a lot of bandwidth. So you're not going to be uploading a whole lot from your phone unless you got a badass data plan. I have a badass data plan, but it's slow, so I can't stream 4K, but I can throw one of these videos on my phone to upload and then go to bed and wake up in the morning and it's all done. So that's what I do. My cell company probably hates me for it. So it's good for that. It's good for little snippets on Facebook, little captures here and there.
Well, look, he has bamboo all on his tummy. My bamboo, it's the vegetable.
The 360 photography is mediocre. Honestly, you're not going to get superior quality. The 2016 version of this does 30 megapixels. This one, I think, does 15 megapixels. And to me, the more megapixels you have to see your image in VR, the better, because you're looking at a little section. Right now, you're looking at a small piece of a big 4K screen, and it's magnified when you put the VR goggles on, which are cheap. I don't know why everybody doesn't have them. You can get Google Cardboard for like $10, you know. So, and they got these little glasses. They got these little glasses and things now too. So there's all kinds of applications for this for fun.
Let it all ride. Am I young enough to cry? Won't know not say no. I am attracted to my conscience. I don't wanna.
Goes over this bridge and it's lit up. Very neat. You walk all the way across it and all the way back. Super cool. The middle bridge here is the Frisco Bridge. It is the second oldest bridge on the Mississippi River, on the whole river. This bridge was made in the 1890s. And as you can tell, it's still functioning. It's a railroad bridge. And this bridge right here, this third one down here, is actually our first car bridge where you can drive, just keep going without stopping. And this bridge was completed in 1950. Real quick, and I can't tell from downstairs, but up here, is there any birthdays up here? Anybody got any birthdays? Oh yeah? Happy birthday! I don't think you lost in my self-righteous suicide. I cry when angels deserve to die. In my self-righteous suicide. I cry when angels deserve to die.
I myself, how am I going to integrate it into my channel? If there's something spectacular that I want to share that 360 kind of immerses people in, I'll do it. For example, my Facebook page, Scott the Truck Driver, you can go there and I will post a lot of it. Because this is a very simple camera to use. You can just literally hit the button and start talking, and hopefully the auto exposure gets it right. If you're in a situation like this, you're gonna have to go onto your phone and make sure your exposure's right. But if you're evenly lit with the outside and the background and everything, this will very quickly capture. The audio is usable. You can understand what I'm saying. And, you know, in the wind, not so much. In heavy rain, not so much. You know, obviously the lenses will get wet and you'll have all kinds of bubbles being magnified, but that's just part of the deal. So I like this better than the Nikon Key Mission 360, but I'm holding my breath waiting for the GoPro 360 that's going to come out. Not the fucking big rig, but they're actually coming out with a smaller 5K consumer 360 camera with which to show off all this shit. So now I'm going to roll through. That's my thoughts on this camera. If you own a Samsung or an iPhone, it's probably the best consumer level 360 camera on the market. The 2016 version takes better pictures as far as resolution, but not dynamic range. Doesn't have HDR mode. You could take one picture at a lower exposure using exposure compensation, take one at 0, and then take one at +1 or +2, you know, -2, 0, +2, then take those into Lightroom or Photoshop and HDR them together and have a 30 megapixel image, which you will only really get a benefit out of if you are streaming in 8K on YouTube. Or, you know, Facebook, forget it. They compress the shit out of everything. In fact, I don't even think they do the 4K thing. I think any 360 video you're watching on Facebook's 1080. Don't quote me on that. I haven't checked. But to me, it seems a little bit... They're really harsh when you upload pictures and video and stuff with their compression. So they need to work on that, you know. I mean, if YouTube can do it, why the hell can't Facebook? You both got a lot of money. Make it happen. Anyways... But for your own personal and friends and family that may have a phone that's capable of handling 360, such as any newer Android really, with a decent screen on it, will notice that the pictures from the 2016 version of this are sharper than this one. However, once you upload it to Facebook or YouTube, which are pretty much the only two platforms right now, aside for some web page platforms, you aren't going to notice the difference between the two because both of those compress the shit out of it. You are watching a slightly less sharp version of this video than I will have on my phone because YouTube's going to compress it. It was already compressed once when it was stitched, which is another thing. This does not have in-camera stitching. It does, however, automate the process. It should be noted that this camera in warm conditions will overheat and shut down, which is what just fucking happened. Another problem. You're not going to do long vlogs with this, which sucks for me because I like to talk a lot. But, as I was trying to say, in order to stitch these images and video, you have to either transfer them to your phone or shut down twice now. Like I was saying, you have to either transfer this shit over to Wi-Fi to your phone to get it stitched, or hook it to your laptop with the Action Director software, which Samsung provides for free, and stitch it on your laptop, and then you can either edit it there. You can do some limited editing on your phone, i.e. trimming shit. There are a few apps that will let you stream or clip things together on your phone, but ultimately, if you want to edit these videos, you need Premiere or some other VR-capable editing software. I just tried plugging this in. It will run indefinitely when plugged in, I'm finding. So it's really, I think it's a battery issue that's causing the heat buildup. I have a really fast SD card in here, which also helps reduce the chance of heat shutdown. But when you're doing 4K video on this thing, it will overheat. It will eventually shut down, and there ain't much shit you can do about it. But like I said, plugging it in to a USB, which is fine. If you bring a battery pack with you, you know, you plug it into that and, you know, do all that. The time-lapse feature, another disappointment for this fucking camera. It shoots at 10 frames a fucking second. And in order to take full advantage of that, you have to do some math. In other words, you probably want to shoot no more than 1 frame every second, and then speed it up to 30 frames a second in your editing software. Otherwise, it looks, if you just take a time lapse straight out of the camera into the app and then post it online, it's going to look like a slideshow and not a real good time lapse. So I don't know what the fuck they were thinking with the 10 frames a second. It's bullshit. It should not be done. It's a software thing. You know, you can take pictures at that rate. Why not encode them in a way in 4K? You know, even if you have to do it in the software on the phone, it's fine. You know, or just give me the stills. Just give me a pile of stills. It doesn't do that. It puts them in a movie format for you. So that's, you know, the time lapse was a real disappointment because it's something that this camera could have been decent for. You know, it would be fun to view a 360. It shut down a 4th time, so that's even plugged in. It would be fun to view 360 video, you know, time lapse with goggles. I don't know why they did the 10 frames a second. GoPro can do it, and it does it 30 frames a second. It looks nice and buttery smooth with the fucking time lapses. If this fucking thing could do it, we'd be awesome. All right. So those are the things that I had a problem with. I still like using it from time to time. I like posting. I like, you know, capturing moments. I liked when I took it up to the top of the pyramid. I liked when I walked around Memphis with it. So it's kind of good for just capturing the memory. It's not going to be something you use to make professional 360 videos and photography for all the reasons that you've just seen. It shuts down and overheats in sunny or warm conditions. It's pretty warm today. It's 90 out. It was about 75, 80 in here. I shut the AC off right before I started filming. You hear it running now. But it's not gonna hold up for long vlogs. It's for short little one-offs that you can quickly and easily upload to social media. It does do live streaming, allegedly. And I do say allegedly because I could not get it to work properly with YouTube at all via the phone. On the laptop, I could stream to YouTube. However, it didn't give me any interface, any chat interface, any way of communicating with people that may be watching, which fucking blows. Facebook, it will stream to your personal Facebook page, but if you have a fan page or a group that you are trying to stream live to with a 360 camera, it's not gonna fucking happen. I tried and tried, I researched and researched and could not make it work through the Pages app or any other app for that matter, and there is nothing in the Samsung Gear 360 app that allows it to stream to a fan page. You can probably rig something together with open broadcasts and some screen capture shit, but that's a lot of fucking work, and when we live stream as creators, we generally want it to happen quickly and easily and be able to communicate with our audience, which is what you live stream for. If you are just talking and running a live stream and not interacting with the people watching, it's fucking...
Shut up!
Shut up! Sorry. It's fucking worthless if you're live streaming and you can't communicate with your audience. It does work well on your personal Facebook page, so you can throw up a live stream with it with a good data plan and a good fucking connection. You're not streaming in 4K, it's gonna be blurry as shit, but you can interact with people watching and talk to and notice when people are watching. So it doesn't beat the cell phone. Just stream with your cell phone. Don't bother trying to stream with this fucking thing. It's a waste of time. You know, unless you got a laptop sitting there and you're running it on there, it's not gonna work in YouTube. At least not the Samsung. Maybe the iPhone version does, I don't know, which would be fucked up since it's a Samsung fucking thing. But it's not working. Shut the fuck up! I hate that fucking thing. Talks all the time. Drives me nuts. I know I'm violating my fucking idling. It's 90 degrees out, you fucking bitch! Sorry. I got problems. I think the road's getting to me a little bit. Anyways, the Samsung Gear 360 2017. Buy it if you don't have, you know, it's worth it. You do get your fun with it. It has a lot of problems, it has, you know, a lot of hang-ups, but overall, it does the job of giving you a decent, and I do mean just decent, quality image or video at 24 fucking frames a second, but we'll just leave it at that. And it does what it is supposed to do, and nothing more. You want more features, you want higher resolution, you want longer record times, you're probably gonna have to fucking wait for something newer to come out, like the GoPro. And there's a whole bunch of them lining up to do 5K now instead of 4K, which will help with the sharpness of the video. They are well aware that the video looks like somebody wiped their ass on your screen. They know very damn well, you know. Feel free to make your own judgment. Is it good enough for you? Does it give you enough quality? So, that's my review of the Samsung Gear 360 2017. I will occasionally use it on my YouTube channel, or if I just need to vlog something important without worrying about setting up a shit ton of camera shit or editing or anything. It will be a regular part of the Facebook page, but that's about it. That's about all you can fucking expect from this, because it only fucking records for 5 to 7 minutes at 4K before it cuts off. It does longer time lapses. It does have a continuous loop record, which seems to work fine. I usually have it plugged in if I use that. So it does make an excellent drive cam too. So you'll be seeing maybe me bitching at people, because I can just turn it on, wait for people to fuck up and start yelling, and you'll see it in real time. So, by the way, that tripod it's sitting on, that's not, you know, I got a GoPro mount with a tripod in, so I can screw it onto any GoPro mount. So, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you want more 360 shit, even if it looks like, you know, somebody's, you know, wiped their face all over a piece of glass in front of your eyeballs? If so, say in the comments, and I'll give you more 360 shit if you like it. Let me know what you think. 360 on YouTube or no 360 for me. This is the quality. You know, the other videos aren't going anywhere. I'm still going to do plenty of those, but you get more content if I start shooting with this fucking little thing occasionally, because it's easy. Take it out, set it somewhere, push the button, and it you know, talk, shut it off, done. You know, that's what it's got to be. It's fucking. This is the fucking low light performance, handheld, as if you were trying to take a selfie while just sitting here holding it, which often happens in run and gun situations. You can't always find a place to set it down. You know, not necessarily like dinner, but like say you're out and about and you want to talk to the camera and send it out. This would be how you probably end up doing it, you know, with the little tripod extension. I'm using a GoPro one to kind of lift it up some, because if you hold it close to the fucking thing, you're gonna get, you know, like 360 hand. Like if you look down, you're gonna see like a big chunk of my fucking meat hook in your face, and that's just fucking bullshit. So you need to get something to extend your reach a little. Doesn't have to be too much, surprisingly, just about there. And if you look down now, you can see, you know, you can see my hand, but not much. It literally just overheated after that little conversation. So I don't know what the fucking deal is. And the AC is running. You can hear the goddamn noise in here. It's frustrating. It really is. So it's good the first time you take it out, you get 8 minutes or so, and then after that it's like 2 minute spurts. And all I did was download the shit, and it wasn't even warm when I picked it up, so it's definitely heating up as I film. Don't know how to fix that because I already have a fast memory card in it. So should I just blow on it? Should I blow it since it looks like a dick? Because it's being a dick. After it shoots its fucking image, it stops. Like a dick.